head into the second half of July, which is really hard to believe, a lot of people are getting the itch to squeeze in some last-minute travel before the summer is over, and it's not too late.
Got to get it done. We brought in the executive editor of Condé Nast Traveler to share her tips and tricks on how to plan last-minute travel and not spend a fortune. Please welcome Erin Florio, everybody. Erin, good to see you.
Thank you for having me.
So when I think of last-minute trips, I think, okay, you know what, it's too late. Just hop in the car. Let's just drive a couple of hours. But you say there are some deals when it comes to purchasing plane tickets?
Absolutely. I know everyone thinks you just get in the car and you go somewhere, and America's a great country to do that in, but you can find last-minute deals on flights if you know where to look. A personal favorite of mine is Google Flights. They have this amazing tracking system where you put in the dates and where you want to go, and they will email you when you should book. Now, if that price drops after you book, they will refund you up to $500.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
They really believe in it. A second place would be Hopper. They have a price prediction tool, so they will also track the flights, and they will tell you, hold off on booking now, book on this date, we expect it to be better. And it's almost always right. It's amazing. But one thing I will say is it's not available on their website. You have to download the app for the price prediction tool. And finally, this is kind of a favorite of mine. You know how sometimes, okay, I always say flexible dates, but sometimes the dates are just not flexible. And the place you want to go is costing a fortune. Skyscanner has a search everywhere tool. So you put in your dates, they will scour the internet for the best deals, and then they will offer you some options on where to go. And it could be a great place that you had never even considered.
Oh, that's really nice. And gives you the planning itinerary without you having to think about it.
Exactly.
And so what are your tricks for actually booking the flights?
Sure. So if you still want to get a deal, I know I just said some people don't have flexibility in dates. I get that. If you can be flexible, be flexible. Of course, if you're booking Friday to Sunday on a last minute weekend, you're not going to find a great deal. Try to, Tuesday, midweek, that type of thing. Another hot tip is if you're traveling with, say, a group of four, a family of four, don't search for 4 airline seats altogether, because what that's going to do is put you in the section of the airplane that has 4 seats together. So what you want to do is search individually, one seat, because it might end up in a more affordable cabin if you do it that way. And thirdly, be creative about the airport. You can fly into a secondary city. You don't have to fly into the most congested, heavily trafficked airports, and you might find a better deal that way as well.
I love that, not purchasing all the seats together though, so you won't have to. And then you can get on the plane and say, hey bro, can we switch seats? Or
yeah, or you get to the airport early and ask the gate agent if they can.
Oh, that's another good tip there. So when you talk about lodging, hotels, and Airbnbs, what's the best plan?
Okay, there are some great places to find deals and some really good tips. Hotel Tonight is an excellent app if you want to find super last minute hotel deals, especially in cities. And one tip I will say is if you are trying to get away and you just can't get away, but you need some type of a break, if you live in a city like New York, Chicago, LA, go on that app and find a staycation hotel for yourself, just so you get a little bit of a break, even if you stay in your hometown. Second tip, always call the hotel. You can always potentially find some greater deals if you just get a person on the phone, because sometimes the last minute cancellations are not reflected on the website or on the booking agents, excuse me. And also you can have a conversation and they can say, listen, we don't have the room you want for 4 nights, but we have it for 3, so we can maybe move you while you come here so you can get a good deal that way. Airbnb, this is a really great tip. If last minute the place you want to stay seems to be a little bit, out of your price range, but it's still available, message the owner. You know how you can do that on Airbnb and say, listen, it's a little out of my price range, but I want to go tomorrow. Can you give me a deal? Often they're going to want to give you a deal instead of have the place sit empty. And finally, again, flexibility on the dates.
Good to know. Nice. Are there places that we should consider and places we should avoid?
Okay, so I don't know if you've heard this term yet, but the buzz term of travel this summer is coolcation. I promise you, you're going to hear that term more and more often.
Coolcation.
Yes, it's the idea of avoiding the places where it's swelteringly hot and going to places where the temperature and the climate is a little more moderate. So think the mountains instead of the coast, heading north instead of heading south. It's sweeping Europe, this trend. So, think about, for example, a place like Idaho. Direct flights into Idaho are actually increasing during summer. We always think of it as a winter destination, but imagine being in a place like Sun Valley in the mountains, so green with the lakes.
And you're not sweating like we're doing right now here in New York City.
Exactly, so nice. And then, a personal favorite of mine, if you want a city break, is to go to Montreal. It's so close from the East Coast. It's a beautiful city, really comes alive in summer. The temperature is always a little bit more moderate. And a really great tip is that the Canadian dollar is really affordable at the moment. So if you're going there with the US dollar, inherently you're saving money because of the exchange rate.
I got to get you on speed dial so I can just blow your phone up. Yeah. Thank you so much.
We're saving without even realizing
right?
we're saving. Erin, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it.